Bullies drown black boy in pool, unaware he is a martial arts prodigy. The first time they shoved his head underwater, nobody noticed. The second time, a few kids laughed. By the third time, the lifeguard was looking right at them, and still did nothing. 16-year-old Malik Carter had learned long ago that silence could be louder than screams. It echoed in classrooms when teachers ignored whispers. It followed him down hallways where shoulders bumped just a little too hard. And now, it rippled across the surface of a public pool on a hot summer afternoon. Malik didn't come here for trouble. He came because his little sister loved the water, because his mother worked double shifts, and because for once, he wanted a normal day. But normal had never really been his thing. "Hey, fish boy," one of them called out. Derek, tall, loud, the kind of guy who built confidence by tearing others down. His friends hovered behind him, smirking like shadows that didn't know how to exist on their own. Malik kept his gaze steady, water dripping from his curls. "Just swim," he muttered to himself, turning away. That was his first mistake. Derek didn't like being ignored. A splash, a shove, hands on his shoulders. Before Malik could react, his head was forced underwater again. The world went silent. But for Malik, silence wasn't panic, it was memory. Years of early mornings, controlled breathing, stillness under pressure. He didn't thrash, he didn't fight, he waited. When they finally let go, expecting him to gasp and choke, Malik rose slowly, water sliding off his face like glass. "You good?" Derek mocked, laughing. Malik nodded once. Calm, too calm. That unsettled them more than fear ever could. Across the pool, his little sister Aaliyah watched, clutching the edge. "Malik," she called, her voice small but sharp. He gave her a reassuring look. "I'm okay." But Derek wasn't done. "Man, you act like you're special or something," he sneered. "Let's see how long you can hold your breath for real." Before anyone could intervene, they grabbed him again, harder this time. This wasn't a prank anymore. This was something else. They forced him under, holding him there. 1 second, 2, 5, 10. The laughter started to fade. Even the water seemed to grow heavy, tense, like it knew something was about to shift. Underneath, Malik's eyes were open. Clear, focused. He counted, not seconds, but heartbeats. At 15, he moved. Not wildly, not desperately, precisely. His body twisted in one smooth motion, slipping from their grip like it had been rehearsed 1,000 times. One hand caught a wrist. A subtle shift of weight. A push, not aggressive, just enough to break balance. Above the surface, it looked like chaos. But beneath it, it was control. Malik emerged behind them. Derek stumbled, suddenly the one off balance, coughing as water splashed into his face. "What?" he started, but didn't finish. Because now, everyone was watching. Not the bullies. Malik. He didn't attack. He didn't yell. He just stood there, steady as stone in moving water. "You done?" Malik asked quietly. Something in his voice made the air feel different. Derek hesitated. That had never happened before. "What was that?" one of his friends muttered. Malik shrugged slightly. "Nothing. Just, don't do that again." It should have ended there. But pride is a dangerous thing, especially when it's fragile. Derek lunged. This time, Malik didn't wait. A step to the side. A gentle redirect. Derek's own momentum carried him forward, straight into the water with a loud splash. Gasps echoed around the pool. Malik didn't follow. He didn't press the advantage. Instead, he reached out a hand. Derek surfaced, coughing, eyes wide, not just from water, but from something unfamiliar. Uncertainty. "Take it," Malik said. Simply. For a moment, it seemed like Derek might refuse. Then, slowly, he grabbed Malik's hand. Malik pulled him up. Not roughly, not triumphantly. Just helped him. The crowd fell quiet. No cheers. No laughter. Just a shift. Because something had changed. And everyone could feel it. "Why didn't you fight back before?" one kid asked from the edge. Malik glanced at Aaliyah, who was now smiling cautiously. "Because I didn't have to," he replied. Derek wiped his face, still catching his breath. "You some kind of fighter or something?" Malik hesitated, then nodded. "I train." He didn't say how many years. Didn't say how many competitions he'd quietly won. Didn't say how discipline had shaped him long before this moment ever came. He didn't need to, because now, they understood. Strength wasn't loud, it didn't need an audience. And it definitely didn't need to prove itself by hurting others. Derek looked at him differently now. Not as a target, not even as a rival, but as something he couldn't quite define. "Why'd you help me?" Derek asked, almost reluctantly. Malik met his gaze. "Because someone should." That landed harder than any punch ever could. The lifeguard finally blew his whistle, calling for order, but it felt late, almost irrelevant now. The moment had already passed. Or maybe, it had just begun. Aaliyah ran up and hugged Malik tightly. "You're like a superhero," she whispered. Malik smiled softly. "Nah, just your brother." As they gathered their things to leave, a few of the same kids who had laughed earlier now stepped aside, giving him space. Respect, quiet, and spoken, followed him out. And behind him, in the water where everything had started, Derek stood still for a long moment. Thinking, really thinking. Sometimes, it takes being pulled under to realize who's been keeping their head above water all along. And sometimes, the strongest person in the room is the one who chooses not to fight.